And we are live on the Las Vegas Raiders Report. I'm Mitchell Renz, and I appreciate everyone that's here because what does that mean? You got your notifications on. So I'm going to get into my free agent signings in just a little bit. We're going to give it about 5 minutes or so and let the audience roll in here. So I got a few questions that I'm going to ask. I want to know, who is your current favorite player? Throw it in the comments section. So we are live on YouTube. And we are live on Facebook. And remember, I go live every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So y'all better be there. And I'm hoping for it. So we got Devin. He's going to go with Josh Jacobs. I see somebody's already telling them to sign Jadeveon Clowney. What's going on, Jay Gomez? Appreciate that you're here. We got Jonathan Abram, Darren Waller from Swaggy Boy. Cory Littleton already getting shout-outs from Steve Munoz. EJR028 says Max Crosby. Jeff Rutsong also going to go with Max Crosby. Got a Derek Carr in there from Juan Hernandez. Anthony Alanis, Max Crosby. Got some Josh Jacobs. Choi324 is going to go with Max Crosby. So the way that this is going to work, before I get into my free agency grades, for everyone that's watching right now, it's looking like we got 134 people watching us live right now on YouTube. And we'll go over here to Facebook as well. We got 56 people watching us on Facebook. Appreciate everyone that's here early. I'm excited. It's Friday. The Raiders have been making a lot of moves, so I wanted to do this video. We'll be handing out grades in just a little bit. Joseph Castro says Hunter Renfrow. We got a Trayvon Mullen from Angel Muela. Did I get that right? And then a Darren Waller from the Gaming Turtle. So I know we got a lot of people watching. And I've been noticing we've been getting some newer viewers. And I also know this. Raider Nation, y'all are crazy. So if you are a diehard fan, okay, the kind of fan that shows up for that 1 o'clock tailgate, you ride in on the BART, you sit there, you're ready to go at 8 o'clock, and you are just pumped for the entire game. Like, when I went to my first Raiders game, we were riding on the BART, and the amount of people that were already like shotgunning beers in the tailgate section was incredible. I'll miss Oakland. I'm excited for Vegas, but I know that I've been to Cowboys games. I've been to Jets games. I've been to a lot of NFL games. Yo, Raider Nation knows how to get down. So producer Dylan back there is like, yo, when can I get going? Dylan, we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, so we'll get some shout-outs. Martin, Raider Nation for life. I'm going to start shouting people out. Jamie Toscano, Mr. Robertson 22, Ricky Hernandez, Jay Garza, Swaggy Boy, Jared G. Mitch, you never responded to my chat. Jared, there you go. Should have went to Jared. No, you should have stayed here. The Raiders Report. Every kiss begins with K. Not a sponsor, but hey, if you want to be, you let me know. David Fetz, It's Burgers, EJ Road 28, Adrian, Charlie, let's get some Raider Nation for Lifes in the comments section. We got 366 people watching on YouTube. Let's get that number up. Send the link to your friends. Let's get more people in here. All right, so how about this? We are going to get into some favorite free agent signings, and before I give you mine, I want to know from you. So we went out. We've been pretty busy, and I did put a poll up on the channel because, honestly, for me, this question is kind of easy. I know who my favorite signing is, but the Raiders Report, everything we do here at Chat Sports, it's not about me. It's not about just one person. It's about creating a voice for the entire nation. That's why we do this show. So, Jason, appreciate you for watching. I got an Eli Apple. That's kind of surprising to me. Cory Littleton. Carl Nassib is from Jacob. Marcus Mariota from the Gaming Turtle. Cory Littleton, Most Def from Juan Hernandez. That's kind of where I'm at on this one, I'll be honest with you. How about this? We'll go over to Facebook. Where are we at on Facebook? Thomas Isaac Alvarez mentioned me in a comment. Appreciate you. Johnny, James Butts, CNF Stockton, Blaine Palmer, all watching on Facebook. Remember, I am live on YouTube and on Facebook, and we go live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, or if there's breaking news, or guess what? If I feel like it. So where are you watching from? We know, I shouldn't say we know. You know what? Yeah, we know. I've met Raider fans in Germany. I've met Raiders fans in Canada. I've met Raiders fans, obviously, in Oaktown. I live here in Dallas, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. I've partied with some people in New Mexico. I think one of the coolest things about the nation is the family atmosphere that it brings, but also how we just spread across the United States, and wherever we go, we take over. So I have a lot of friends that are Texans fans, and Nation showed up at the Houston Texans game. Now, we got ripped off in that one, by the way, but we did show out. So let me know where you're watching from right now. And I see the $12 super chat. I'm going to do a live Q&A, or apparently Dylan says, nah. No, you ain't. You're going to answer it right now. Thanks for giving us a break from the news. I'm burnt out. How's our money looking? And Collins still not signed. Maliek Collins, Marcus Mariota, and I believe it's Eli Apple are right now the players where we don't know the details quite yet. It's going to be coming out, though, pretty soon. I'm pretty burnt out from all the news as well. The Big C, that's what we have to call it because YouTube doesn't want you to know or thinks that you're too sensitive, I guess. I'm not quite sure. But, yeah, the Big C kind of sucks. But I promise you, Chat Sports, the Raiders Report, Dylan, the producer, we're not going to go anywhere. I will continue to give you videos all off season. White Hat, appreciate the super chat. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. I'm Mitchell Renz, and I've noticed I have a lot of new subscribers to the channel, and we're trying to grow this bad boy. So if you love news, if you love rumors, if you want to stay up to date, if the Big C is slowing you down, I want you to click that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you know every single time I go live, and if for some reason you can't find the subscribe button, Dad, I'm going to pin this to this video here, so all you got to do is click on the pinned comment. Let's get into some free agency grades, right? That's what this show is all about. Nick Kwiatkoski, what would you give him? A, B, C, D, F? For me, Kwiatkoski, he's getting an A-. And this was a player that I talked about in great length weeks leading up to free agency because I knew he was on the Raiders' radar. Why? Because I think that you could go out, get him pretty cheap, but the Raiders wanted players that can also make plays in the backfield at linebacker. Tahir Whitehead was a good leader. He was, and I'm actually going to miss him. However, Kwiatkoski has the ability to get after the quarterback, something that, well, Whitehead just never had. Now, he was a linebacker for the Chicago Bears, and I think he's going to play that middle linebacker role for us here. I always say this term, Gruden grinder, but that's what Kwiatkoski is. And when he had to take over for Danny Trevathan for the Chicago Bears, a lot of people thought, oh, man, I don't know if he's going to be able to fill in. And he did. He filled in great, and he had 76 tackles. He has started in only 22 career games. But what I want you to do is I want you to watch him when he first started playing with the Bears and how it finished up at the end of it because he has started to learn, and he's a quick learner. Plus, the upside is very, very high. So I want you to grade the signing, okay? That's what this show is all about. The Raiders Report, our live shows, they're about live interaction. So he signed a 3-year, $21 million deal. Would you give it an A, a B, a C, D, or F? Now, every single player that I bring up here, the other 7, I'm going to ask you the exact same question. So for every single player, get your votes in. We'll give some shout-outs as we go. Let's talk about Marcus Mariota. So what would you give Marcus Mariota? I like this signing. I was a little bit confused. I knew some rumors were going to start swirling around, him taking over for Derek Carr. It's not going to happen. I'm going to give this signing a B-. And I think about it in 2 ways. I think about it in adding depth, and I also think about it in opening up our playbook. So I'll start first with the depth, right? You're going to have a quarterback now who is going to push Derek Carr. That's a fact. Now, I don't know if he's going to start. In fact, I'd be very, very surprised if he did. I do think it's going to be an open competition, and if Mariota can come out and play really well at some point, maybe he gets a chance. But I think if you're Marcus, you go out, you compete, and basically what you try to do is what Ryan Tannehill did to you. Try to take your job. If he outplays Carr, then guess what? I'm okay with him playing, because if you are playing better, that's who I want on the field. I do think he's going to be the backup, but the reason why I really like this addition is because I've said it multiple times here on the show. You can add 10 to maybe 20 plays to your playbook and maybe just show them off here and there, convert an extra first down. If you're really trying to get in the end zone, I think that's where you're really going to see Marcus Mariota play big dividends here for this team. Plus, running quarterbacks help out the running game. So if we can help Josh Jacobs even more, I am totally, totally on board for that. So I think that they brought in Mariota for a little bit of competition, to be that backup quarterback, to basically open up the playbook. But if you are a new watcher, I'm going to say this a lot. It's not about me. It's about you. So why do you think that the Raiders signed Mariota? So for those of you watching live on Facebook, for those of you that are watching us live on YouTube, I want you to put in the comment section, why did the Raiders sign Mariota? Let's get on into it. Cory Littleton, probably, not even probably, my favorite signing. I mean, can every single person watching right now, okay? We got 600 live on YouTube and over 100 live on Facebook. Type A+. A+. You go out, you get the top linebacker in free agency. Our biggest need on defense was, guess what? Linebacker. And we didn't spend a lot of money. I mean, we didn't. 3 years, $36 million. Now, sure, for you and me, I would take 3 years, $36 million in a heartbeat. $22 million guaranteed. But what has Mike Mayock said this entire offseason? We need a cover linebacker, and I see a lot of people shouting out A+. I see Martin, Raider Man. I got Jay Gomez. Appreciate everyone tuning in. But he was the number one free agent linebacker on the market. Yes, he's got a lot of tackles the last 2 seasons. Yes, he was an undrafted free agent in 2016 who continues to work hard. He is a little bit undersized, but his ability to cover running backs, wide receiver, tight ends, it's really going to open up our defensive playbook. It is. Now, I know we played inside linebacker for the Rams because that was a 3-4 defense. Our defense is a 4-3. But I think with his versatility, he can play Sam. He could play weak. He could honestly play middle linebacker. Plus, he is going to help our secondary, which does need a little bit of a boost. So for Cory Littleton, I'm telling you what, that is an A+ grade for me. Now, I need a little bit of help here. So I made a bet with my boss before I came on the show. For those of you that watched a few days ago, you saw James in the background here. I said, no, I want the main studio. I want the best lights. He said, why? I said, because I'm going to hit 41K subscribers today, so we made a bet. So I need 185 new subs by the end of this live show. If that happens, I get to keep doing shows, okay? So I would appreciate that. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, click the big red button. We'll put it in the description. I'll put it in the comments section so it's easy to find. But I got 617 people watching. Last time I checked, about 53% of you are subscribed. So I bet half the people watching right now aren't subbed. So click the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, help me get to 41K by the time this video ends. Let's go now into Jason Witten, and the order of the grades, they're going to come in when the player signed. Witten was a head scratcher to me, and I'm going to give it a C grade. So for me, my grades go C is average, B is good, A is excellent. Anything below that, you're looking at my report card. Well, yeah, you're basically looking at my report card. So he agreed to a 1-year contract worth up to $4.75 million. When you look at the details of the contract, when you look at the incentives, honestly, I think he only gets closer to like $2, maybe $3 million. Why do I say that? Because a lot of it is incentive-based. And for Foster Moreau, I like Moreau a lot, right? One of our best young rookies. Had 5 touchdowns last year, but he is coming off a serious knee injury. One of the things that I like now about this move that I didn't really like before, at first I thought, oh no, I don't want Witten to take playing time away from Moreau, but Moreau posted on his Instagram that he's excited to learn from Witten. Oh yeah, that makes sense, because Witten is one of the best tight ends to ever play the game. Now, I don't really know how much he's going to impact on the field, but I do know this. He is going to impact the younger players, and he's going to impact the locker room, and he's going to be like another coach. That is something that I know John Gruden wants. Plus, if we're trying to rebuild a culture, I know one thing. Jason Witten is not only one of the best players of all time, he's one of the best pros of all time. So if you want a player like that to change a culture, go out and get him. Let's go to the next signing that happened right after this one. It was Maliek Collins, and I'm going to give Maliek Collins a B+. Why? Young, and I think he's going to come at a relatively cheap price, okay? So you go out, you get a 24-year-old. This was a player that I said, do not be surprised if the Raiders go out and sign Maliek Collins because of his relationship with Rod Marinelli. Rod Marinelli last season was the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator. This year, he's the defensive line coordinator, okay? So I also think the move to Rod Marinelli makes a lot of sense. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Buckner. I think he did a great job last year, but you hire Rod Marinelli just in case Paul Guenther doesn't get it done. So you're hearing it right now. I've said it a few times. If the Raiders' defense struggles and Paul Guenther starts to struggle, he's going to get the boot. Rod Marinelli is going to become the new defensive coordinator. But he can generate pressure. And from a defensive tackle standpoint, that's something we need. Guys that can disrupt. Plus, now we have a better rotation because now we have Maliek Collins, Jonathan Hankins, Mo Hurst, and P.J. Hall. P.J. Hall started to play a lot better last year. Mo Hurst, into year 3, he's starting to really come into it. Plus, then you have Hankins that now gives us depth at defensive tackle. And if you want to win football games, and if you want to win in the trenches, if you want to stop Melvin Gordon, who has just gone to the Broncos a few hours ago, you need to start building up and beefing up that defensive tackle position. So these t-shirts have been selling like crazy. Chatsports.com/RaidersWorld if you want one of these bad boys. Now this deal at the start of me making this video ends in 7 hours and 50 minutes. So basically by midnight on Friday. This shirt is only $19.99 if you use promo code TRADE at chatsports.com/RaidersWorld. Now a few days ago, I said if anybody goes out and buys the shirt, that I would put it on the show. So I had somebody, my man Jeff Rogers, who always watches the show, he sent me the pic. Jeff, appreciate you. So what I always say is this show is about the nation and growing the nation. If anybody helps me and supports my sponsors and buys this shirt, chatsports.com/RaidersWorld, I'll put you on the show. So buy the shirt, take a pic, post it on Instagram, tag me in it so I know, and then that way I can put it on the show. Does that sound good? The link is in the comments. The link is in the description below. Appreciate the nation because let's be real. It is the Raiders against the world. Let's go to my next player here. It's Jeff Heath. And again, continue to get your grades in the comments section. Adrian Ars, Daddy O'Daddy, Breon Teal, I'm looking at you. I'm giving this one a C+ grade. And it's a good move. It's not a great move. It's not a good move. It's like in between average and good for me because I think his real impact here is going to be special teams. And go back and watch a lot of Cowboys tape. Jeff Heath is a great special teams player, and I think it's one of the most underappreciated positions or special teams groups, obviously, in general. I think one of the reasons why the New England Patriots have been as good as what they've been is because their special teams has actually been special, but it doesn't get a lot of credit. So I give this a C+ because I do think that he can at least compete for a starting spot at this current juncture. Okay, we are still pretty thin. I think it's between him and Eric Harris. But you're looking at a player who knows Rod Marinelli, who knows special teams coordinator for the Raiders, who's going to bring some experience at age 28, and he's going to be solid. He's not going to be amazing. He's going to be solid, just like Eric Harris. So here's the depth chart. I would say as of right now, I will get into Eli Apple in a little bit. However, I don't know if he's actually going to be the starting cornerback 2. But I think right now Jeff Heath is the free safety with Eric Harris. You're going to see them split time. This depth chart is going to change massively, especially when it comes to the draft, because now that the Raiders went out and got linebackers, I'm starting to think it's a little bit more likely we go after cornerback or safety at pick 19. Let's go to another pick here, one that's kind of been pushed underneath the rug, and I'll kind of take the blame for that because we made so many videos the day he signed, then he signed late at night, and we left. So that one's on me. Carl Nassib, though, I'm going to give it a B+ grade, and I'm a big fan of Nassib. And Nassib, you grew up close to me. You went to Penn State. I know I don't want to say I know where you live, but I kind of know the area where you're from. I'm from the 570 as well, so anytime you want to come on the show, you let me know. So we signed a 3-year, $25 million contract, $17 million guaranteed. And the reason why I gave this a B+ grade is because of the versatility. Now, I think he's actually going to play defensive end more than he's going to play linebacker, and that's because he's, 6'7", and he's 245 pounds. But you're looking at a player with 12.5 sacks over the last 2 seasons, and I think the reason why he went out there is to kind of help keep Cleveland Furrow a little bit fresh. The numbers that he's going to put up are going to be very similar to a Benson Mayowa, but let's get this straight. Carl Nassib also a captain, a leader, and he's going to help this culture change. Now, the move that went down 2 days ago, this one actually might have been the most surprising for me, and y'all can weigh in how you feel, was Eli Apple, because this one happened, and I was like, man, really? Eli Apple. I'm going to give it a C+ grade, and I think when you think about the upside in a player like Apple, it makes me hopeful, right? I'm hoping that Eli Apple can finally live up to his first-round draft pedigree, 10th overall out of Ohio State. Now, he started 51 games over his 4-year career, and he started to play better a little bit down the stretch of 2018 and 2019. The best way to use Apple is on the outside. I still hope that Isaiah Johnson, I still hope that, that we get more out of Nevin Lawson, Nixon, some of these other players. Now, Eli kind of scares me here and there, and we do have his 2019 coverage stats, which I'm going to show you right now. But also for you PFF fans out there, he was the 13th best corner in press man coverage last year. What does that mean? He's good at jamming receivers, and he's good at keeping them on the outside. I think that's one of the reasons why you went out and got him. Now, again, I know I'm going to show this depth chart, and he's going to be the cornerback 2. I do think at this moment, he is the cornerback 2. However, I don't think it's the Raiders' plan to keep him at the cornerback 2. That's why I'm thinking that you could see maybe another free agent signing. They really wanted Byron Jones. They didn't get him, so they're going to settle for an Eli Apple. But I will say this, okay? You're going to see the Raiders go out and potentially get somebody in the NFL draft. So I want you to grade the Raiders free agency so far. We've signed 8 players. It's been active. It's been a lot of fun, and we've built that defense. So grade the Raiders free agency so far. Is it an A? Is it a B, C, D, F? Let me know in the comments section, because coming up right now, I'm going to give you my overall grade for the Raiders and free agency. My grade, you ready? Loosen up the shoulders. Wait, I'll give somebody who got it right first. Should have known. It's my man, King Higgins. We agree. I'm giving it an A- grade, and King Higgins isn't the only one. Shout out to my man, 25 Swag Team. Also got the same grade as me. We addressed the defense, which was by far the biggest need. We went out and got leaders, captains, a big need. We got players that are going to help a culture change, another big need. So when I think about the Raiders and everything that they've done, I like this move a lot. So A- grade. Continue to get your votes in, and I appreciate everyone that's watching. If you disagree with any of my grades, you can hit me up on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. It's time to get into a Q&A, shall we? So I want you to use hashtag Raiders to get your questions featured on the show. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can super chat, which is that money symbol down below. So for the 830 people watching us on YouTube live, you can hit super chat. That tells Dylan to put your questions on the show. Or you can use hashtag Raiders. So we're going to talk about free agency. We're going to talk about trades. You can talk about anything. And if you super chat me, I will answer anything. Sound good? Personal, Raiders related. Let me know. Use hashtag Raiders. So Raider Nation, I need your help a little bit, okay? I need 185 new subscribers by the end of this live show. My goal, 41K by the end. My boss told me no way I could do it. I told him I want more airtime because the nation deserves it, because we've been getting awesome numbers. So if you want to see more Raider shows, if you want to do more live shows, all I ask, if you're not already subscribed, click the sub button, turn on your noties, go find some random Raider fans, send them my show, say, hey, go subscribe to this dude. He's not too bad. He has a fun and interactive show. Sometimes he gets a little crazy. But my goal is to get to 41K subscribers by the end. So we need 168. Dylan's going to update the number as the show goes on. So if you haven't subscribed, we'll put it in the comments. It's in the description. Click the big red button. Turn on the noties. I appreciate everyone that's watching. So use hashtag Raiders to get your questions here on the show. What up, Breon Teal? Appreciate you. You think we are going to try and trade for Harris or address safety in the draft? If we can go out and trade for Anthony Harris of the Minnesota Vikings, I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, if the Vikings placed a mid-round tender on him, which is a 3rd or 4th round pick, we have a 4th round, we have 3 threes. I would do it in a heartbeat. Let's go to Richard Perudin. Is there any other free agents that we should target? So I think you're going to look at needs. And right now, I would say the Raiders have kind of shifted their focus more to the draft. I mean, we've already signed 8 players. So for me, there isn't really anyone that honestly jumps off the screen. I know some people want Jadeveon Clowney. For me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Clowney because I think he wants a lot of money, considering the fact that he's never had a season with 10-plus sacks. So I would say the only other free agent that I would go after is maybe somebody in the wide receiver room. You could look at a player like an Emmanuel Sanders. I think would be a great fit. Robbie Anderson, I don't want. Brashard Perriman, Logan Ryan, some of these guys to think about. But it's also going to come down to money, because the last time I checked, as I made this video, according to Spotrac, $29.5 million left. Jeff, what up, Jeff? Appreciate you. Did you see that you're on the show? Are we looking at Emmanuel Sanders in free agency? Are we looking? Sure. I don't know how closely we're looking. And I also think that Emmanuel Sanders and a lot of these receivers are actually kind of surprised on how the market for them isn't high. And the reason why that market's not high is because of how deep the draft is. I mean, Why would I go out and spend, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 million on Emmanuel Sanders, who's 33, when I can save my money and go out and get a top receiver in the draft? Because even the receivers that are going to be taken in second, third round this year, you're going to see there's a lot of talent, and it's really, really deep. Jeff, appreciate you. Appreciate the question. Let's go to my man, Alan. And Alan, I don't know if you're a new watcher, but I have this thing where if you don't have a picture, I'm going to tell you, get a pic, because you can see me, and I at least just want you to have a picture. Cool? How do you feel about our offense out of 10 and why? Honestly, I'd probably only say a 5. We need wide receiver help. I like our tight ends a lot. I love our running game. Great offensive line. We have a good quarterback. But the wide receivers, if we don't improve at that position, I think we're a 5. Now, we go out, maybe get a Henry Ruggs, go out and get a Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, even add another receiver, maybe late third. Yeah, I think then you're looking at 7, 8 potentially. So fingers crossed, because our offense, it needs to get better. We got Bernard rolling on in here. Bernard, what up, dude? Do you see us drafting 2 wide receivers in the first round now that we have addressed our defense in free agency? I am still going to say no. And I think the only way the Raiders draft 2 wide receivers in the first round are, A, you draft Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb at 12. Maybe Henry Ruggs slides down. I don't see that happening at 19. I think the more realistic way that we draft 2 wide receivers in the first round is you take somebody at 12, you trade 19 back, you get an early second, late first, and then maybe we swoop up somebody like a Justin Jefferson late first, a Denzel Mims. That's how I'd see the more likely. We got a super chat rolling in, and remember, super chats mean 2 things. You're getting on the show, and you can ask me anything, okay? I'm a very transparent person, even though I can't speak, but I want you to get to know me, so if you super chat, you can ask me anything. Cool? Do you have any idea, no, why the Raiders didn't target Slay? It seems a 3rd and a 5th round pick was pretty fair. I agree. I thought it was going to cost like a first-round pick, honestly. So the fact that they only got him for a 3rd and a 5th, good for the Eagles. But you did turn Slay into the highest-paid cornerback in the NFL, 3 years, $50 million. That was the reason. They were not on Slay because they wanted Byron Jones. When they missed on Byron, they were like, okay, we're going to save our money. We're not going to go after Slay, who is going to be 30 years old, or actually might already be 30. Let's go to the next super chat. Appreciate you, though, Jermaine. Klisman Michael. Mitch! What cornerback are we taking in the draft, and what 2 players are taking in the first if you were Mayock, and who you picking up? So we'll start with the cornerback position. I think Christian Fulton and probably C.J. Henderson are the 2 most likely cornerbacks. You could also be looking at a player like Xavier McKinney. Keep him in mind at the safety position. Also a safety to keep in mind is Grant Delpit. If it was up to me, I would take CeeDee Lamb at 12. I would trade pick 19 back very late to then pick up a player like a Patrick Queen or a Kenneth Murray at the late first, and then I'd swoop in and take a Denzel Mims in early second. Got another super chat rolling in here from White Hat. Appreciate you. Wide receiver is pretty deep. I'm thinking wide receiver, cornerback, wide receiver. Unsure what we're doing with Gabe. So Gabe Jackson is scheduled to make $9.6 million. I actually think that the Raiders are going to try to move on from him or trade him because he has been battling some injuries. Plus, you already gave Richie Incognito an extension. You already extended Denzel Good. I'm just kind of reading the tea leaves here. Even though I love Gabe, I just think it's going to be a lot like what we saw with Kelechi Osemele this past year. But I think for the Raiders, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're like, I have to draft this position. You draft the best available, okay? So if best available is wide receiver, get a wide receiver. If the best available is cornerback, go get a cornerback. But a wide receiver in 3rd round, yeah, I'm on board for that. So what is the Raiders' biggest need right now? Is it linebacker type LB? Is it wide receiver type WR? CB, quarterback, I will laugh at you if it's quarterback, or you can type S for safety. So I'm curious what you guys have to say. The Raiders Report is all about the live interaction. I'll give some shout-outs. Enrique Lopez, Elois, it is all wide receivers. There's a quarterback. Wannell, Chuney, did I get it right? I'm not sure. Andrew Garcia is also typing in his CB in there. What's the Raiders' biggest need? I know what your biggest need is. A new T-shirt. Raiders against the world. So for a limited time, okay, so pay attention. A limited time. This deal ends on Friday for those of you that are watching this live, okay? For those of you that are watching it live. Chatsports.com/RaidersWorld, $19.99 up until Friday. If you get the t-shirt after Friday, it'll be $24.99. But it is Raiders against the world, and I've promised people, go out, buy the shirt. If you buy the shirt, take a picture of it, tag me in it on Instagram. We'll get you on the show. But if for some reason, if you don't remember chatsports.com/RaidersWorld, I'll put it in the comments. I'll put it in the descriptions. That way you can go get the t-shirt. All sizes. I think it's only in black. If you like the shirt, if you want to put new things on the show, just let me know. Cool? Sound good? Back to the Q&A? Let's do it. Use hashtag Raiders to get your questions on the show. What up, Wyatt? Do the Raiders draft a quarterback or not because of Mariota? I think the only way the Raiders draft a quarterback is if you see them move on from Carr. Because you placed a 5th-round tender on Nathan Peterman. I don't think this means anything for Mike Glennon. I think the only way the Raiders draft a quarterback, it's not going to be early in my opinion. You could see them maybe go out and get a Jalen Hurst, late 3rd, early 4th. I know that they're high on Eason because of his ability to chuck the ball. However, I am personally not on board for any of that. The quarterback, if you're going to draft late for me, is either Eason or Anthony Gordon from Washington State. But even that, I would rather the Raiders hang on to some of their picks and invest otherwhere because, well, you went out and got Marcus Mariota. We got a super chat rolling in here from Tristan Kuhn. Appreciate you. Okay, let me take a breath. Mitch, we need to do another IG Live again. Also, would you be fine with the trade of Gabe for a 3rd, then trade 2/3 for a 2nd, Baltimore free cap? Okay. Would I trade Gabe Jackson for a 3rd? Honestly, yes. I don't know if that's what he would even get on the market, considering Kelechi Osemele only got a 5th. And if anybody wants me to do an IG Live, I'll make you a deal, okay? So, Raider Scout and I, we did an IG Live a while ago. I'm at 11,000, I don't know, IG followers. If I can hit 11,000.2 at Mitchell Renz 365 by the end of the show, I will. Oh boy, hang on, let me update the number. Yeah, so I need like 20 new followers on IG. If I do it, I'll do an IG Live this weekend. Cool? I'm off the next 2 days, but I'll continue to bring you guys some content. Let's go to Darius Gonzalez. And, I also do want to mention, if there is somebody out there that does a podcast or it has an Instagram and you want me to come join this weekend, let me know. Okay, you never answer my questions. All right, next question. No, I'm kidding. But who do you think the Raiders should re-sign? I would have said Carl Joseph, but he's obviously now with the Browns. You could see them bring back a player like Kyle Wilber, honestly, in terms of depth. You could also see them bring back a player. Oh, man. Isaiah Crowell is going to be interesting. I don't think they bring him back. Like, here's the thing. A lot of the players on the Raiders last year, it was tough to bring them back. If there was a player that I would like, maybe a Benson Mayowa, he was pretty solid for us. I'm trying to load the depth chart right now to give you a better answer. However, my computer's being a little bit slow. Darius, appreciate you got your question. Maybe I'll come back to it here. We got a super chat rolling in here from Steven Rockwell. 19 pick. We need a cornerback. Okay. What are your top 2 in the draft that we can grab? Also, what about offensive line in the 3rd round would be a good idea? I think if we're going to draft an offensive lineman, it is going to be a little bit later. It could even be at that guard position, with Gabe's whole situation. I would say my top 2 cornerbacks right now that are realistic at pick 19, C.J. Henderson, Christian Fulton. Those are probably my top 2 guys. And then if you want to find another versatile player in the secondary, I'm probably going to keep saying Xavier McKinney or Grant Delpit. I'd actually probably take Delpit over McKinney. Let's go to Aaron Martin, but appreciate the super chat. Appreciate everyone who's watching right now. If you want your questions on the show, use hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat. So we got 895 people watching live right now. All right, Aaron, I'll get to your question. My bad. Can you do an in-depth breakdown of the cornerbacks in the draft that fit with us? Yeah, so can I do it now? No, because then that won't be in-depth. But I will make you a deal. Once free agency starts to slow down a little bit, I do always try to figure out what you want to see on the show. So if you guys want to see an in-depth look at some cornerbacks that we can draft, we can do that. I know I've already put out some videos, probably like, 2 months at this point now, of the top players that the Raiders should draft at 12, the top players that the Raiders should draft at 19, and I believe I did another one, the top players that the Raiders should draft in the 1st round in general. So another reason that you should subscribe to the channel, we put out videos like that the entire offseason. So I set a goal 41K subscribers by the end of the show. I need 158 more. So I would like to be able to do more videos here. So for those of you that don't know, this is my full-time job. This is how I pay my bills, and yes, this is how I put food on my my table. Believe it or not. So all I ask is, all I'm asking is just to subscribe, continue to support the show. The big C is what we have to call it because YouTube doesn't like when we, say the actual thing. I want to be able to provide content for you guys. I want to be able to provide videos because I know sometimes laughter is the best medicine. And I'll be honest, what's going on in the world right now is kind of freaking me out. And it's freaking me out because I'm seeing how it's impacting sports. I'm seeing how it's impacting my mom, my dad, my family, my grandparents. They're very old. I want to continue to do the show, and I want to continue to show that I love y'all and that I appreciate y'all. So all I ask is subscribe. It's 100% free. It helps me out a lot. Appreciate you. Let's go to the next question here. Raiders for life. Get a pick. What's our record next season if we draft Lamb and Queen in the first round? I think if we draft Queen and Lamb, and then maybe even get a Denzel Mims second, because I think if we get Queen, we trade back in the first round. If we go out, address our wide receiver position, and we can add more talent, and if our rookies are just a little bit worse than our rookies last year, because living up to the hype of what our rookies did this past year, I mean, you're looking at a draft that's probably the best draft class in the last 10 years this past year. So all I want is some solid production from our rookies this year, plus we're getting Jonathan Abram back. So if we address the wide receiver, if we improve our defense, if we improve our offense with an easier schedule, I mean, our schedule's a lot easier this year and we're not traveling as much, I'll say 10 wins. If we can keep improving about 2-3 wins every year, that's what we need. So I'm going to go 10-6. Throw in the comments how many wins you think they're going to have. Or, perfect, Dylan, read my mind. Predict the record in 2020. I should really start looking ahead. I know. The way that this show works is live graphics, what's coming up. I don't look what's coming up very often. So, what's the Raiders' record in 2020? And if you guys want to shout out Dylan, type Dylan. Because I told Dylan that he should put on a mic and he should talk to you guys too. But Dylan is being a big C, and he won't come on the show. All right, we got Cheddar Ruffles says 11-5. Draco 10-6. Allen 17-0. My question to that, Allen, is, so first off, the 16-game season, it's still happening. But the correct answer is 19-0. Because that's what I want, right? If we go 19-0, that's Super Bowl. I'm seeing some 10-6s, 11-5s. I see a 9-6. My question is, what happened to the other game? 12 wins, 11-5. Chris Smith, 19-0. Got it. Continue to pick the record in 2020. Another super chat time. Let's get it. Mitch, one last question. How are you feeling about Carr going into the season? P.S. Your show effing legit, and it gets me through work. Laugh out loud. It gets me through work, too, I'll be honest. How do I feel about Carr? I'm a little uneasy, okay? I like Carr. He's a good quarterback. Do I think he is, the GOAT? No. Do I think he's a top 10 quarterback? Honestly, no. But do I think he's as terrible as what some people make him out to be? No. I think he is a good, reliable quarterback. But you got to put pieces around him, right? Because we don't have a Russell Wilson. We don't have a Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Drew Brees, where you can just put anybody around him and it works. What do we have? A Derek Carr. And that's okay because I've seen Ryan Tannehill, who I think Derek Carr is just as good as, win football games. Because why? Good running game, good receivers. Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo's a good quarterback. But the only reason why he went to the Super Bowl and won football games is because that defense was great. The running game was great. If we don't put talent around Derek, who's never had a good defense, the offensive line has been great, but our receivers the last 3 years have been nothing. How can you expect him to win football games? We won football games and went 12-4 when we had a great offensive line, a great running game, talented receivers, and a halfway decent defense. That's what we need. Hope that answers the question. Appreciate you, Klissman. Appreciate everyone at Super Chats. Okay, so if you want me to stay live in the next 60 seconds, okay, I need 20 new subscribers. So either I get 20 new subscribers in the next 60 seconds or the show ends. If I do get 20 new subscribers, I'm going to do another Q&A. So either you're going to get 10, 12 minutes of more Q&A live time, or I'm going to end the show. So we are starting right now. I got to get 20 new subscribers. So Dylan's going to update the number. We are in the background here. If you need to know why you should subscribe to the Raiders Report, we do a lot of news, rumors, We're a live and interactive channel, and if you want me to stay live for another 10 to 12 minutes, I need 20 new subs. So we got 900 people watching. Got 900 people watching. And if we get more subscribers, I'll stay live. If not, I got to get going, and we got to make our NFL show. So, again, this is my full-time gig, and at Chat Sports, if, we don't get subs, I got to go, and I got to go make other videos. So, I'm seeing a lot of people are saying bye. Hey, if you don't want me to do it, I won't. It's all good. I'm a little bit disappointed. I see some people saying bye. It's all good. We need 13 more, so it's youtube.com/Raiders Report. Need 20 more, or what? Need 13. Got 20 seconds. So we see some Broadco people, Nico, Courtney, Jeffrey Locke. Sorry, M. Chris. Hey, that's up to you. Somebody said quit begging. Guys, it's not me. I got to do this, right? It's not me. I would like to keep doing my show. So please subscribe to the Raiders Report. We do a lot of news, rumors. You can just ask me trade questions. You guys can ask me anything. We need 8 more. So Dylan said, somebody said I'm already subscribed from Jacob. I appreciate you. Bradley subbed. Anthony, appreciate you. Juan Chunnel, appreciate you. Don't go. Guys, I want to stay alive. Like, I like doing this show. Like, I don't know. I do greatly enjoy this. I like people that do tune in and watch me every day. I know there are a lot of people out there that do tune in and watch me every day. So we need a few more, and I'm going to stay on here for a little bit longer. So Cheddar Ruffle says subbed. Stay live. How many? So 3 more. 3 more. I got 10 seconds. So 3 more. We can do it. Come on. Somebody hit sub. All I need is 3 more, and I can stay live. That's all I need. YouTube.com/Raiders Report. So Jesus, Scott Norris, FAB, always welcomed. Definitely always welcomed. Okay. So we tried. I don't know. We got 688 people watching right now. Somebody said bring your girlfriend. That'll get you some subscribers. So I'm talking to Dylan. You live in Vegas. Okay. Appreciate you. Click subscribe. So I'm looking at the numbers. Did we get it? No? Okay. So we're at only 17. So if I missed your question, you got it? All right. So we didn't get it in a minute. Luckily, though, we did get it. So Baracco Pride, I appreciate you. Come on. Yeah, guys, I hear you. I just subbed. Thank you, OV, twice. Love the show from Tim M. Mitch pulling a John Travolta, staying alive. Dude, trying. So we did it. It took a little bit too long. I actually said that I thought we could get 50 in a minute, so I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. Now I look like a dummy. So if you guys want more news, rumors, anything going on, just continue to hit that sub button. All right, let's get in now to the next Q&A. So if you want to know anything personal about me, use hashtag Mitch. Or if you want to talk about Raiders, use hashtag Raiders. So super chat, comments, that's how you're going to get on the show. I've noticed a lot more new people have started watching our show. So that's why I'm telling y'all to use hashtag Mitch. Because the better you get to know me, I think the better that this show goes. That way you can understand my inside jokes. So super chats, comments, hashtag Raiders. We're going to do another Q&A for about 12 minutes or so. So if you have anything, okay, any questions, let me know. All right, let's get in now to the very, very first question here. We got one from Jeffrey Locke. What about signing Logan Ryan? So I've talked about Logan Ryan a few times on my show before. I talked about him when we first let go basically of Carl Joseph, and I put out a video. It was called Carl Joseph Replacements. I like Logan Ryan a lot. He's had a solid career, but I think that at this point in his career, he's starting to see a little bit of a decline. Now, PFF, they rated, I think it was like 113 cornerbacks last year. Logan Ryan actually ranked as 64. He's a better tackler, and he's better in the run game. We need coverage cornerbacks a lot more than we need somebody than a Logan Ryan. And you probably have to pay him $10 million. I don't know if I want to pay Logan Ryan $10 million because I really would have liked to pay Chris Harris only 2 years, $20 million. That would have been a good deal. Let's go to Jacob. What up, Jacob? Kenneth Murray at 12 and Justin Jefferson at 19. He's the most underrated wide receiver in the class. I do think he's underrated, and I do think he's talented. So he ran a 4.4340 at the combine. However, I don't want to take Kenneth Murray at 12, and I don't really want to take Jefferson at 19. because I think that means that you're reaching for those players. Do I like Jefferson? Do I like Murray? Yes. But am I taking Murray at 12? No. I liked Cleveland Ferrell last year, but one of the reasons why I said I didn't like it at 4 because it was a little bit too much of a stretch. I like Cleveland, but I wanted them later on. I like Murray, but I want them later on. Does that make sense? I hope. Let's go to Edwin Jesus. Who will be the starting quarterback? Derek Carr. And I'll ask you, if you think it's going to be Carr, type C. If you think it's going to be Mariota, type M. Everyone, I hope, type C, because it's going to be Carr. Let's go to Flip Doe Erden. Hey, Mitch, great work. Appreciate you. Who do you see becoming our change of pace back? I would say our change of pace back is going to be Jalen Richard. If you're looking for a sneaky option out in free agency, I'd say maybe a player like a Dion Lewis. However, I think Dion Lewis ends up going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think we already have that change of pace guy in Jalen Richard. I know they want a tough running back. Maybe you could see them go out and get somebody in the draft. But you got to see what you got in Isaiah Crowell. I don't think DeAndre Washington comes back. But our objective should be giving Josh Jacobs, 300-plus touches this year, and then going and use Jalen Richard, who's one of the best pass-catching running backs in the NFL. I believe he's been targeted 126 times and has 104 catches. It's pretty good. Let's go to Ian. What up, Ian? You got any hype? Out here watching in Schuylkill. That's crazy. 570. So I'm from Danville, Pennsylvania, for all of you that don't know that. So shout out to the 570. Ian, I don't know if you guys play Danville. Our mascot was the Ironman. I'm going to be home, hopefully, if this whole situation slows down a little bit. I was hoping to go home early May. And if anybody's near the 570, if you want to shout out your area code, go for it. I would appreciate that. So let me know. And I like when people reach out to me. So I see 510 from Sal. So let me know. Continue to use hashtag Raiders in the comments section. I appreciate everyone who's watching. Ian, hit me up on IG. So I do a lot of rumors, I do a lot of news, and we do a lot of segments here at Chat Sports. And if you hit that subscribe button, it does help me out a lot. Turn on the notifications so you know exactly when I go live. And if you have any other ideas of what kind of videos I should make, let me know. Cool? Sound good. Let's go to AJ Fadez619. I love your show, bro. Been subscribed over a year. How well do you think Carr can do if we take care of the wide receiver situation? I mean, we've seen how well Carr can do. I understand that he hasn't really looked the same since the back injury and over the last 3 years, but if you go look at the numbers, he's been a lot better since 2017. He's gotten better in 2018. Now he's entering his third year in the John Gruden system. And anytime that he's ever had two solid receivers, Amari Cooper and Crabtree, he put up good numbers. And also, even with Amari and Crabtree, who dropped the ball a ton, whether y'all want to believe it or not, he can get it done. Here's a pro tip. If you guys don't want to catch the big C, go put on an Amari Cooper jersey. Let's go to Chris Smith. What up, Chris Smith? 570, 40 Fort, Pennsylvania. Another 570 person. Again, anytime I go home, I always normally post it on IG. If you guys want to get together, if you're over 21, grab a beer. I don't mean that to the high school kid that was just on here from Schuylkill, but if you want to go grab some food or something like that, I'm always down. Let's go to Jermaine. What up, Jermaine? What's up? I live in Canada, and you're doing an amazing job. Appreciate you. How do we get into the Raiders report and don't stop the good work? I love this. So before I said if anybody wants to pay for their flight and come to Dallas, Texas, you can do that. I would say obviously now that's not really an option, but I'm going to be in Vegas a ton, and if I go to Vegas, obviously we can link up. But if somebody does want to actually come on the Raiders report once this whole thing slows down, just DM me on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365, and I'll walk you through the process, how to get here, and, you guys can just come on the show. It's cool. You just got to be subbed. Let's go to Eduardo. What up, buddy? Mitch, who do you like more, CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy? I'm a CeeDee Lamb believer. I like Jerry Jeudy a lot. I think he's an unbelievable receiver, and I don't think you can go wrong with either. However, I look at CeeDee Lamb, and there's a part of me that thinks that he's going to turn into a player a lot like DeAndre Hopkins, who might not have lit up the combine. He's just a tough player who's going to go on the field, and for some reason, people don't stop him. He's a tough dude, brings in contested catches. I'm a big, big fan of CeeDee Lamb. Again, remember, you can use hashtag Raiders or you can use hashtag Mitch. So Raiders is a Raiders question. Hashtag Mitch is literally anything personal. And if you super chat, when I say that you can ask me anything, if you super chat, it means you can ask me anything. Cool? Let's go to this next question. We good? Kevin, what's going on with the new stadium? Are the Raiders playing in Oakland? So this has been a rumor floating out there because of the whole Big C situation. From last time I heard, okay, and saw, the people are still working on the stadium. They are still putting on the translucent roof. The roof is expected to be done May 31st. The stadium is expected to be done July 31st. So there was an update in Cali that basically SoFi Stadium is still being built. So what does that mean to me? I think it still means that the Raiders are going to continue to build. But obviously, if we go in full quarantine like Italy, it could get a little complicated. Let's go to Rob. Hey, buddy. How about Clowney for year one? For 1 year, $10 million with a sack incentive after 8. The issue is Clowney doesn't take that. Clowney wants $20 million. And unless somebody gives him $20 million and he wants a long-term contract, like he doesn't want to be franchise tagged. He wants a long-term deal. That's not what I want for a player who's never had 10-plus sacks and for a player who takes plays off. He does. He's talented, but he takes plays off. Let's go to Jaden. What in the world is your picture? I live in Arlington, Texas. Do you want to catch a bite to eat? Once this thing slows down, sure. I'm not probably going to drive to Arlington for a bite to eat at this point, but I do know that there's a bar, a restaurant pretty close to Arlington. I live about 30, 45 minutes from there. Once the Big C slows down, I promise y'all, if there's anybody in the DFW area that wants to get together, pick a bar. Let's get like 30, 40 people there, and sure, let's rep the nation. Let's go to Ryan_CL. What do you think about drafting Denzel Mims? So I did a mock draft about a month and a half ago that I wanted the Raiders to go out and get Mims in the 3rd round, and that's where he was going. I knew he was going to have a good combine. He was a player that I liked a lot. But the issue was he had almost too good of a combine, and now he's probably going to be a late 1st, early 2nd round pick. The only way we're going to get Denzel Mims at this point is if we trade back that 19. Yeah, you could technically take him at 19, but I think that is a little bit too high of a reach for me. But if you're looking for a really, really solid player out of Baylor, I believe he ran a 4.38 40. Super talented. If you're looking for another player, if we miss out on a Denzel Mims, you could see a player like Chase Claypool, who kind of reminds me of a lesser version of Darren Waller. He's 6'4". Him and Calvin Johnson, this is Chase Claypool. Him and Calvin Johnson are the only 2 players, okay, in NFL Combine history to be over 6'4" and to run under a 4.45 40. It's really, really, really talented, okay? So continue to use hashtag Raiders or hashtag Mitch. So Ultra Instinct Gogeta, it's my birthday. So I want everyone to wish him a happy birthday. What we normally do is type, okay, yes, HBD. So to wish Ultra Instinct Gogeta, did I get it right? A happy birthday. Everyone type HBD. And for you, Instinct, I want you to take a picture of this, post it on IG, tag me in it, at Mitchell Renz 365. I'll share it on my story. I appreciate that you guys tune in. Jeff Rogers, Ryan, Tim, there you go, HBD. Instinct, how old are you? Throw it in the comments. Happy birthday. I'm glad you're tuning in. Hopefully you're keep tuning on in. All right, Raiders Against the World t-shirt, chatsports.com/RaidersWorld. For those of you that are watching this live on YouTube, you can get this shirt for $19.99. That deal ends Friday night. For those of you that might see this on a VOD or a little bit later on replay, it's going to be $24.99. So it's still a good deal, but if you want the shirt, chatsports.com/RaidersWorld. That's how you get the shirt. And if you buy it, send me a picture, DM it to me on IG. Let's go to this next question rolling in here from Rob J. Hey, Mitch, do you think that we should move LaMarcus Joyner back to safety where he played better? Honestly, yeah. I do. I like LaMarcus. I understand what they're trying to do with him. They're trying to turn him into this Swiss Army knife type of player. But, I mean, he graded out as one of the worst players in all of football last year. I do think he battled some injuries. I think he was a little bit confused in the Paul Gunther system in his first year. But honestly, yeah, I would move LaMarcus Joyner back. That's just me. Let's go to OV_twice. Hey, Mitch, love the show, bro. Would you try and trade up for a Okudah or take CD at 12 and trade down 19? If we're going to trade up for Jeffrey Okudah, you're probably going to have to give up your 12 and your 19. So if that's worth it, maybe you think about it. I know John Gruden likes Jeffrey Okudah a lot, called him a player. He literally asked, what planet are you from? But in my opinion, and I know we've already addressed the linebacker position, if we're going to trade up to try to get Okudah, I'd rather take Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. That's the player I like. That dude can do anything. Ovi twice, I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's watched. If you haven't subbed already, please do. Turn on your notifications. So what's going to happen now is this video is going to go to loop. I'm going to take you through my free agency grades. We'll take you through the Q&As. Raider Nation, I love you. And remember, wash your hands.